Hey guys, welcome back to a new Valorant video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you pretty much my tips and tricks on how you guys can improve your game, not only for Valorant but for pretty much any game out there which does rely on you to use obviously a mouse and keyboard. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you a few methods, so it could be a long one but it is a very informative video. Even if you don't play Valorant, if you're a Destiny player, if you're a CS player, it's definitely going to help you in every single way. So with that said, let's jump straight into it. So just quickly a background story on sort of why I'm making this video, and obviously if you're new to the channel you guys won't know, but I am obviously a Destiny 2 player and I've played pretty much with a controller for around about, I'd say, 12 years. And recently, last week, I decided I wanted to use obviously a mouse and keyboard, and I decided to play Valorant, and pretty much I fell in love with obviously the competitive sort of side to it. Now, I did get placed in Silver 1 around about a week and a half ago, and as you guys can see from the tips I'm about to show you, I've gone from Silver 1 to all the way up to Gold 3 within a week and a half. Now, I'm not saying that's by any means good, but I'm saying it's pretty, like, I'd say it's average, so these tips do definitely work. And obviously, let me know what sort of ranks you guys are. Now, I'm just saying I'm not the best. This is just sort of how I did it. And obviously, I want to show you guys that are obviously wondering how I got to Gold 3. So, with these, what I'm going to start off with is the settings. Now, the settings I do use, the main ones are going to be sensitivity and the crosshair. Now, the sensitivity aim is 1.1. The scoped aim is 0.7. Now, it's really important you guys sort of get these right for yourself. Now, I'm using 400 DPI, guys, so take that into consideration. It's a very low DPI. That is why my sensitivity is quite high. Obviously, if you're playing 800, you probably want to half it to like 0.55. So that's totally up to you. But remember these sensitivities because they are going to be really important later on in this video. So they're just my settings. To be honest, these don't really matter for aim. The next one, and one that I've seen a lot of people get wrong in my opinion while I've gone from Silver to Gold 3, is definitely the crosshair. Some of the crosshairs people are using in Silver and Gold are not good. They're really, really bad. Especially for like pinpoint accuracy, which is pretty much what you guys need to get to those top leagues. And it's something I've noticed and obviously I've adapted to. I used to quite like a big one. Trust me, the big crosshairs do not work for a lot of people, especially if you're an average sort of player. This one I do have right now, very simplistic. It's a small sort of reticle and it is a really nice one to hit headshots with. And I do see a lot of similar like pro settings with this sort of dot. So crosshair colour, I use green. Outline opacity 1, 1. And then 1, 1. Now, I'm not going to go through, obviously, talking through. I'm going to slowly scroll down so you guys can see the settings. If you need to pause the video, just obviously pause them so you guys can copy my crosshair. Like I said, it's important that you remember these settings as well, or the ones you do have. Now, if you have got your comfortable crosshair, you're probably not wondering sort of why I need to see this. But if you've got this crosshair or one you're comfortable with, then we'll move on to the next one. Now, a lot of people ask me what's the best way to sort of improve at the game. Now, there's definitely different ways you guys can do this. Now, there is deathmatch. For me, deathmatch is one of the best ways to learn because you're going to be playing people that are Radiant, Immortal, and they're going to be a lot sort of out of your league. So you only get better by playing those top tier players and obviously seeing how they play. So definitely deathmatch. Now, one tip that I did obviously go through, and this is one that I would recommend. A lot of people in deathmatch use vandals, that sort of thing. Now that's good, but if you're starting off the game, your main priority is to get your aim perfect. So for me, I'd recommend using a ghost in these deathmatch just to warm up. Because obviously you got to hit them headshots to be able to kill, rather than a vandal spraying. But obviously make sure you do use your obviously spray control, because that does help. The next tip I want to show you is shooting test as well. Now this is a great place to warm up and obviously get those headshots. I've done this for a while. Now there is another tip that I use more often than this, and I will show you this after. But if this is the first video guys you've seen of mine, make sure to subscribe, drop a like down below, and like I said, if you're not a Valorant player, it doesn't matter. It's pretty much gonna just be showing you how you can improve your aim. So like here, what I like to do is I like to just simply click start on this, and all we have to do, there you go, what's going to happen is bots are going to appear, and all you need to do is obviously hit those heads as quickly and as effectively as you possibly can. Now this does warm up your aim because you're not going to know where these bots are spawning, so you flick shots, you flick aim, so let's say if it's there, it's going to be improving it. Not only that, you're strafing as well. Make sure you're not just stood still like this, guys, because it's not realistic. In a real game situation, you're not going to be stood still like that very often. So make sure you're just strafing in and out, trying to hit those heads with a quick strafe. Like I said, it's not always about getting the best score. It's about getting the most sort of accuracy. So don't rush, especially if you're a new player to a game like this. Warm up your accuracy like this. Make sure you're strafing. Try out different guns as well, because obviously different guns do have different sort of recoil patterns. They do feel different. Try aiming in as well. A lot of people forget about aiming in, and to be honest, aiming in is a really good tip if you are trying to get used to the aim and the crosshair. It does make it that little bit easier, especially at range, to hit those headshots. And obviously you can spray once you get down. There you go, score 27. Wasn't really trying there, but that is the tips for the game. Now I'm going to show you the biggest tip of today's video, and that is going to be on a thing called Aimlabs. Now you can download this on Steam, guys. I'm going to show you a few routines that I've been doing, and that is how I've gone from silver to gold really quickly, and I do this pretty much every single day for 15 minutes. So when I jump over there, we'll resume the video. Right guys, so we are on Aimlabs right now, and I'm going to quickly go through the settings that you guys do need, especially if you're on Valorant. They have also pretty much every other game known to man, even Destiny 2, if you guys know me from there. So you go to settings and you go down to controls, and what you're going to get is game profile. And as you can see, they've got so many games, but obviously the game we want is Valorant. Now, you are going to want to have your field of view 103, because this is pretty much the bang same, obviously, as Valorant is, and that is why it will help you better. Now, sensitivity, make sure it's the same as the one in game as Valorant, because that is pretty much the mirrored image. This right here mirrors everything from Valorant. Obviously, make sure your settings are the same. So that, with that said, also you can change your crosshair, which I know a lot of people forget. Now me, I have personally uploaded an image of mine, I've copied it and sent it over. Just type in, guys, if you want to have your exact Valorant sort of reticle, just type in how to get the same crosshair in Aimlabs on YouTube, and there'll be a video that shows you exactly how to do it for Valorant. So that's how I've done that. Now the warm-ups that you guys are going to want to do, if you head on over to the workshop and go to everything, type in Valorant. Basically, a lot of the pro players have set you some things up which are really good. There's one here from Tens. This one's a really good one to use. The ones I use more often than anything is this right here by Charl LA7AN, and that is the warm-up for 15 minutes. This is pretty much crucial. I do this every single day before I go on to Valorant, and then I also do the compact aim training. Now, I would recommend sort of from iron to gold using compact, and then if you're platinum and above, use extreme to get to those higher leagues. Now, don't try and fly through these, guys. Take your time, make sure you learn sort of how to do it, and just day by day keep grafting and you will get better. Now, I just want to quickly show you sort of my grid shot sort of things. So if you go over to training as well, if you don't want to download anything like extra other than Aimlabs, if you go down to the bottom left, tasks, there's so much like stuff you can do. We've got tracking, speed, precision. We've even got like strafing from corner to corner. There's so much stuff you can actually do. Like here, tracking, circle track. You've got strafe track where it'll move across. You've got motion shot, so that's where one's flying above, that sort of thing. But that is Aimlabs. I'm going to quickly show you one that I do like to do. Now, I just want to say, when I started this, my average score was around about 40,000 on this. Now, once you load it in, the one I recommend to do, guys, so that it doesn't distract you, is Grey Box. That's my personal favourite map, and I always use a 9mm weapon Glock pretty much, just because it feels similar to like a Ghost in Valorant, so that is why I use it. So here we go, we're going to do it now. This is literally my first time doing it, so we'll see what score we get. Now my average is 40k, well it was last week, but I have actually managed to get up to around about 60k. Now from a week's playing, that sort of progress is really good, guys, and it definitely does help. I'm going to quickly try and blast through this. Now it is only a minute, so it is just a quick nice little warm up, but trust me, doing this before a game of Valorant will improve your in-game, and not only that, you'll see a massive difference, and you can also track your progress when doing this. Now I'm probably not going to get an high score because I'm talking shit while doing it, and it is quite distracting, and obviously you do have to concentrate for anything like this when you're aim training, and that's another thing I would recommend. Try and get in the zone, play some music in the background if it does help, and just sort of blast it out for a few. If you've got a spare 15 minutes or anything like that, come on Aimlabs and just fly through it. Trust me, it does help out a lot. Like I said, I'm not the best. This is literally a week. So what do we get? We got 57,000 plus 2% accuracy, so we got 92% accuracy. Still not the best score I've had, but certainly not the worst, so it is an average score for me for the first one. So that is pretty much Aimlabs. This is what I've been doing to sort of get better aim. Now they do obviously have it for different games, but the last tip I want to suggest, guys, is going to be one that a lot of people have asked me. Now, mouses. Do mouses actually matter? Now for me, personally, it did matter for me, but I know a lot of pro players and that do use heavier mouses. Now, me personally, I use the Razer Basilisk and the Defadder Elite for quite a while, which are quite heavy mouses. Now, I've recently upgraded to this one right here, guys, if you can see, which is a glorious Model D. This is the best mouse I've ever used in my life, pretty much, ever picked up. It's really light. It's only around about 60 gram, so you can actually hit those flick shots really quickly. But obviously I use quite a low DPI with it, so you can get away with any mouse. It's just sort of practice in my opinion. But with that said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know if these tips did work for you. Try out those custom ones, obviously on Aimlabs. Try out Deathmatch, that sort of thing. Like I said, this video was just sort of how I got from Silver 1 to Gold 3 within like 2 weeks. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. Subscribe, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.